You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 92. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
I'm Jeff Barnhart, Nick's faithful Indian companion who knows all about the nature and the spirit world, but little of grammar.
Comic Reflections is brought to you by Rhymes with Geek. You can find this show and plenty of other cool podcasts like Anti-Fanboy, Feed It Comics, Super Podcasto Magnifico, plus loads of neat articles and stuff at rhymeswithgeek.com. Oh man, it's so hard to say that with a straight face after that, like, brilliant joke. So, our first book that we're going to talk about today is Rder number 6, and it's a reprint from Ghost Rider number 6. Now,
but where's the car at? Kit.
not that Knight Rider,
No.
and it's not the same Ghost Rider. It's not the motorcycle driving Ghost Rider. This is the Western character, and this is how this character has kind of a long and tumultuous history. And I will give that little lesson now.
Okay.
This character debuted as Ghost Rider in 1949. Okay, so Marvel is either Timely or Atlas at that point. Okay, and had stories throughout the 50s, to my knowledge, and then was revived in the late 60s as Ghost Rider. And this is a reprint of that from that series, from that late 60s revival. But this book itself was printed in 1975. And by this time, Marvel has established a different character named Ghost Rider. The Flaming Skull, the motorcycle. You've heard of him.
The bad movies. Oh, the bad fun movies.
Right. I didn't see the second one. I heard it's better. Because, it would have to be. So, they changed the name to Knight Rider. The only problem is, and this runs for 6-7 issues, this guy is a cowboy with supernatural overtones and an all-white costume. Well, Knight Rider is also like synonymous with the name anyway, kind of a Ku Klux Klan kind of thing. So the name got changed again to the Phantom Rider. Okay? Now, it gets even more complicated because Marvel let the copyright lapse on the 1940s and 50s material. And because they'd established the character name, a Ghost Rider, for a different character, they couldn't with this one. And so Bill Black, under his AC comic line, was reprinting old Ghost Rider stories, but changed his name to The Haunted Horseman. So now you've got the long, convoluted history of this character, who was, in this instance at least, the Knight Rider.
Is that, you would think, as many Jews are in comic book, and it's not, they don't control it, but they should know, about the Ku Klux Klan and what they were called. I'm really kind of shocked.
Well, mistakes do happen.
Yeah.
So, and this is a mistake that ran 6 or 7 issues.
Yeah.
So, but whatever he's called, this is a cool character and a fun concept. He's probably the most standout and interesting of all of Marvel's Western heroes, of which there's at least 5.
He's not that standoutish here. I wasn't that impressed with this, but it looks like there's some cool stuff going on. We see his.
Hang on. Let me get to. I didn't even give credits for it. It's the story we're going to talk about is called "Behold a Flaming Star," and it's written by Gary Friedrich and Dick Ayers. So they co-plotted and scripted it. How fun! And the art by Dick Ayers, penciled anyway, and then inked by George Roussos. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay. But yeah, we do get a kind of a montage of some of his other villains, and they seem pretty colorful and interesting.
Yeah. The tarantula, the stingray, and the cougar. It's not an older lady.
Right.
It's a guy with a top hat and a cougar.
Right.
And, Jason Bartholomew, who looks... actually kind of looks like me if I had darker hair.
Yeah.
But he's bald.
The stingray looks super cool. he looks like a 1960s supervillain, let alone a Wild West supervillain.
Yeah.
So
Pretty cool. Now I do like the way that what's his name? What's his name in this?
gosh, in this he's Knight Rider.
Yeah, now I'm all confusicated about it. He looks cool. Got a white mask on his face, and it looks pretty scary. All right, but he comes in and he scares these tribesmen, American Indians. But which you would think that their medicine man, who is giving him Knight Rider all his powers, would have told him, "Hey, here comes a Knight Rider. He looks scary, so be prepared."
Now the Knight Rider, he has this luminescent costume that's supposed to strike fear and evilldom or whatever, and it's like an all white or silvery costume. And he also has this talisman that gives him like what, super strength or something.
Oh, he is given this. This is a new thing. This is why the
this is the MacGuffin of the piece.
Right. The medicine man says here is part of the meteorite that fell down.
Yeah.
For crying out loud.
People get powers from meteors all the time, Jeff.
I know, but not in Western. It ought to be the Great Spirit has given us. They could have used thunder eggs, which is a product of Oregon. We've got our thunder eggs coming out of our ears here.
Yeah.
We really need them.
The geodes, yeah.
Geodes.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
So.
Get yours today. Oh, man. But it's a little bitty skull-looking thing.
Yeah.
On a necklace, and he wears it, and he has super strength.
Yeah.
Just kind of, his getting the strength is kind of cool, man. Yeah. Done very well.
And I love his mask. It's like white and it covers his whole face, and he's got the white cowboy hat and like kind of black Spider-Man looking eyes.
Yeah, and its mask. It looks cadaverous, but not. I mean, its cheeks are sunk in. It's very nicely done. Mm-hmm. So he's attacked by this Indian. So.
It's a simple but really effective costume design.
Mm-hmm.
So he's attacked by the Indian.
So and then he goes back to his house, which is a cave.
Yeah.
And this boy helps him.
So
I was like, man, I don't want to live in a cave. It's all dank. And that's where you keep the Batmobile. You don't live in the cave.
Right. But this kind of reminds me of the Spirit. You know how he had his base under Wildwood Cemetery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Oh no, I was thinking, oh man, a cave. Yeah. No thanks. I don't want to live in it.
Oh. You know, in comics or movies, caves, the like floor of the cave is always really flat and smooth, and like in real life, caves are like rounded on the bottom and like jagged and like.
Yeah, which is why movies are superior.
Right to real life.
Okay.
So
what is this lumbering ox? Or what is his name? It's
let's just call him Thundercloud to keep the trend.
Yeah, indeed. He's something mighty oak or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's giant. And so he attacked. He's the one who attacked
Knight Rider.
Oh man, now
and stole the talisman. Mm-hmm. We'll call him Knight Rider. He's Knight Rider. He's Knight Rider. He's Knight Rider.
Okay.
He doesn't have a talking car though, or a talking horse.
Oh.
So
I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah.
So
like Native Americans will steal your mystic talisman, Michael. No.
Oh man.
Oh.
So he beats up the whole tribe, knocks down some trees for fun, and then we go to Knight Rider's girlfriend who's sick, but he has rejected her because he's Knight Rider, and girls just get in the way.
Right.
The tribe sent an American Indian, one of their
somebody trusted,
warriors, and warns Knight Rider what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, his name is Carter. That's his alter ego.
Yeah, it's Carter Slade, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, Carter Slade
is another great Western name.
It is.
So his horse's name is Banshee. They always have great names. All right,
this character was also called Galloping Ghost.
Oh,
as if he didn't have enough alter egos, but okay.
Yeah. So, Towering Oak, that's his name. Okay. He picks up a horse and throws it at people. And here comes Knight Rider. And the way he comes in, you can only see his cowl and his hat and the top of the horse's head and the cloud of smoke. Looks really, really cool. So Towering Oak was expected to become Knight Rider.
Right.
And he's kind of ticked off that Knight Rider took over.
Yeah.
So huge fight. And Towering Oak has a super strength, but he still has to cheat.
Right.
And it's really not cool. So the Medicine Man claims Knight Rider to be the winner. But then Towering Oak still cheats. Oh, you do have a Twinkie alert. One of my favorites.
Oh, this is a great one. Oh, and this is with the Captain Marvel of the Kree against Nitro. And it's weird because an explosion that Nitro caused, because Nitro is the living bomb, he just causes explosions, led to Captain Marvel getting cancer and dying. But was it cancer or was it the Twinkies? Or was it the bomb or the?
Yeah. I want a T-shirt of this. Ha! I'll blow up myself a hole in the middle of the ocean, so big it'll flood the world. And the way he looks so demonic doing that. So
Nitro?
What a stupid idea! Let's destroy the world.
Right.
For crying out.
But Nitro has this lavender costume with this long white hair.
Yeah.
He looks really cool and menacing.
He does.
It's a great character design.
This is one of the best comics I've seen.
For a Twinkie alert? Yeah.
Okay.
Back to Knight Rider.
Knight Rider jumps and bashes Towering Oak in the head.
Kicks him in the head.
Yeah, it's a double kick. Man,
anytime somebody gets kicked in the head in comics, especially a flying kick, it looks great.
Yeah. And that knocks him out, and he dies because he's wearing that amulet, and if you are bad, the amulet will kill you after a while.
Wow.
Yeah. But Knight Rider says that amulet's too powerful. Let's get rid of it.
Get rid of that amulet. It's far too powerful.
Yeah, said no one ever.
Right?
Yeah, I would want super strength. Yeah, I'd use it for good.
Of course, you're good. I know. But that's pretty fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it was not bad at all. We have a lot of backstory in there that's just alluded to his girlfriend and what's going to happen to her, but I don't know.
But who cares?
Actually, yeah. We might, but I didn't get enough of it. So
right. So the next book that we got to talk about, and this is going to take up the whole rest of today or this episode, is Superman number 212, and it's an 80-page giant. And they would always do a theme with these 80-page giants, and this one has the theme is like Superman as a baby or a child, or it's pretty ridiculous and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Usually I don't like the baby ones that much, but I enjoy these.
Yeah, these were fun.
Yeah, the baby talk kind of gets on my nerve, but I don't know. It's just pretty cool.
Yeah, it's such a weird. We'll get into it, but. But the baby talk the way Super Baby talks is like bizarro, and it sounds like no child ever talked. Me want this.
Yeah.
Like what?
I've heard me want. Yeah.
Okay.
I just used it myself the other day.
Okay.
Me want tacos.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't?
Yeah. I worked at Talk.
Did you say that really?
No, I wish. I'm going to.
Do it.
That's not the rest of my life.
Oh man.
Okay.
So the lead story is called "The Man Who Saved Kal-El's Life." It's reprinted from Action Comics number 281, written by Robert Bernstein with art by Al Plastino.
Okay, we have a wonderful splash page. Superman looking shocked at this photograph of Superman as a baby, his mother, who dressed like 1950s. Okay,
yeah,
she could walk down.
So with Jor-El and Lara, yeah,
yeah, and this goober,
this guy from Earth with clearly wearing Earth, clothes. So
he looks like some super nerd, but without any superpowers.
Right, the power of super nerdery.
Okay, Paul Pratt, bad guy, is going to rob the Underground Museum of International Treasures.
Wow.
It's underground, so it makes it hard to steal, which I guess is true. You
Yeah.
only have one entrance, although I guess you can dig a tunnel, but that's tunnels are hard to do. So that's a lot of work, and criminals are lazy.
Right. And just ask Batman. They're a superstitious and cowardly lot.
So Paul Pratt steals some gold, runs. They lock him in, and he touches a belt, and he disappears.
Right. I've read this story before. It's really fun, though.
Yeah, I'll talk about that later.
Sorry.
But yeah, and so he was in Metropolis. Now he's on Hollywood and Vine, and he commits vandalism to get arrested. So they know who he is in Metropolis, and then they say, "Oh, well, how can this be? He just committed a crime 3 minutes later in Hollywood."
Right, and it's a petty thing, like a thing he'll get off. He'll spend a day in jail, but he's established a firm alibi. He commits a super crime, and then gets busted for jaywalking or something somewhere else.
Yeah, Superman checks it out and finds that, wow, it's an amazing coincidence that the Pratt and the real thief have the same fingerprints. Okay, you live in a world with Superman. If something weird happens, I look for super reasons, or mystical. I don't. It's just the way it is. I mean, but we live in a world without Superman, so something like this would be far more baffling. We would have no idea. Okay, so now Superman is ticked off. All right. Oh, so Paul Pratt goes into a blimp that's having this lavish party. Oh, dirigible. Excuse me. Dirigible is
I love that word.
Yeah, it's like a zeppelin. Oh, no, or am I wrong?
They're the same thing.
Dirigibles are.
Dirigibles,
so
zeppelins.
Rigid. They're rigid.
Yeah.
The skin is rigid.
Yeah.
And a blimp, if you take out the hot air, will sink.
Okay.
We're not sink, but we'll just
it will
like
collapse.
A balloon.
Yeah. I get it.
So Paul Pratt arrests him. So Superman is nearby, and he comes in to get Paul Pratt, and the guy disappears.
Weird.
So Superman is baffled, and this and this headline says Superman baffled. Even Superman is baffled by mysterious phenomena, and always takes off Superman.
Right? Because if Superman's baffled, that's got to be embarrassing.
Yeah, especially when the press notices.
Yeah, it's always embarrassing.
Okay, now here it is. This Professor Amos Dunn comes in, and he wants to reach Superman. He asks Lois Lane and Clark about it. The expression on Superman's face is why I like Superman. And it is just...
He always wears the expression of, like, the cat that ate the canary. Sometimes.
It's intense concentration and says, what's going on here? This is, I don't know, this may be the greatest Superman story of all time. I don't know.
Really?
I love this one.
I mean, I like it.
I don't know. It just it has everything in it. And I don't know. It just, that one scene of, so Superman's really, Clark is really interested in it, so he ducks out, and here comes Superman asking Amos, what's going on?
Yeah, I happened to be flying by and heard my name. What's up?
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to love, like, having a joke on everybody.
Right.
Like being Superman. So, and that's what I mean by he looks like the cat who ate the canary. Like,
All right.
The amazingly best kept secret identity ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino, you saw Kill Bill 2, right?
Nope. Haven't seen any Tarantino movies ever.
Good God. You call yourself a man?
I knew you were going to say... I was like, he's going to call myself a what? And, that's the word you're going to use? Wow. No, I just haven't.
Okay.
Except, unless you count Mighty Peking Man, which I don't.
Okay. Well, I don't either.
Because it's not him. It's a Run Shaw movie.
Okay. Alright, well, I can't talk about it. So you need to watch Kill Bill 1 and 2 so we can talk about
it. You talking about the Superman speech?
Right.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen that clip.
I think that's unfair. I think that the stories are good, and I kind of ticked off that the drawing's not that good, and the stories are stupid, but the ethos, so the myth is great. But
I think the stories look great and are great, and I love the mythology. and all the weirdness. That's what makes the Superman stuff so wonderful.
And this is why it was the most popular one, right? This is the most popular comic book at the time.
Well, yeah. I mean, what other character is in like 5 or 6 titles? Mm-hmm. Let's go down the review. Or character or related, okay? Mm-hmm. He's in Superman and Action Comics. Mm-hmm. There is Supergirl also. He's in World's Finest with Batman. Mm-hmm. There's Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. There's Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. That's 6 books right there.
Right.
Not to mention he's frequently in Adventure Comics. Mm-hmm. There's Superboy.
Yeah.
So what? That's like 8 books. Did I say Justice League? Because I think that makes 9. Yeah. That's like 9 titles that are Superman related going on in the Silver Age. Mm-hmm.
And they sell. It's not like DC is shoving them down people's throats.
No, these are all selling. Mm-hmm. So,
and it makes me proud to be American that something this cool is popular.
Yeah. So Superman or Superman tangential books, there's like 9 of them, and they're all selling. Yeah. And you get all these wonderful, wacky books that have this really complex mythology.
And the thing is, they're so square, but they're so crooked at the same time.
Yeah, it's totally Superman. All this mythology and stuff exists in a very straight-laced bubble kind of world. Okay, it's 1955 forever. Even it doesn't matter what year it is. In the Weisinger era Superman, it's always 1950 basically, looking and feeling, and. And then you have all this just strange stuff that happens to Superman and all his friends, and he's got a gang of teenagers that like kidnap him from his boyhood and take him on adventures. Like I love the Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah,
I'm reading. I just got the.
And that should be number 10 because he's in Legion of Superheroes as Superboy.
Well, right, but. The Legion stories were kind of bounced around. They're in Superboy. Right. They're in Adventure Comics with Supergirl. They're random backup features. So they didn't have their own steady title until like the 70s, actually. But Adventure basically became the Legion book, though.
Yeah. They're just awesome.
I love them. I'm reading the Showcase Presents volumes. I have the first 4 volumes. And number 5 is coming out in December, I think. I'm going to pre-order that. I'm very excited. It's like 500 pages of Legion, baby.
Wow.
A piece.
A
piece. No.
Don't get Legionnaires' disease.
Oh my gosh. No. But anyway, back to this story.
Okay.
According to Jeff, the greatest Superman story ever.
I don't know why, but I was just bowled over by this.
I'm glad. It's great. It's a classic example of Silver Age Superman.
All right, so Amos is telling Superman why he has this cool picture of the Superman family. And so Jor-El sends a radio message to Amos. And I guess radio is still so new that it still seems science fiction-y, but they could have used...
I mean, it's still cool. So
he
maybe ham radios will come back in a big way.
No,
Probably
not, unless there's a zombie attack, then it will.
Right.
So there's some kind of problem going on. So Jor-El is asking him to build a matter transmitter, and he's going to do it over the radio. Tell him how to do it. So he makes one. Looks like like an ice box on his back with a heat lamp in front.
Right, it does. Cool. But yeah, this is a radio. It will transmit matter, which is cool. And so this guy gets to go to Krypton.
And it's called a matter radio.
Right. I love that.
Yeah. So he goes to Krypton, and his body is too heavy, and that's kind of he has to get an anti-gravity belt to adjust to Krypton's greater gravity.
Right.
So they watched a lot of movies and TV from Earth.
Right.
And they can speak our language. Okay. So, Kal-El is in the laboratory with them all, and he knocks over this fish, and he gets bitten by a fish snake, which is poisonous.
Right. These stories are so weird to me because I always think of Superman sent to Earth as a baby as like an infant.
Yeah.
And he's clearly a toddler with like lots of memories of early childhood memories of Krypton and his family.
Right.
And I think this is one thing I'm like, I don't know. I think it's a little more poignant for Superman to like be trying to connect with a lost heritage that he doesn't have memories of Jor-El. You know,
I don't know. If you don't have anything, how can you miss it as much as you had something?
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But a baby is inherently boring unless you're a woman. I don't know.
Right.
Women like babies. Boys and guys, toddlers. I mean, the baby sits there, drinks milk, and poops in his diaper.
Right.
There's not much else. They're fine. I have nothing against babies. I am afraid of them, and I don't want to read about them. Toddlers are fun, and they get into trouble. They're sassy, but
But yeah,
it's not bad.
But they speak and they say things that are amusing. So I get it.
Right.
So
Kal-El gets bitten by Jor-El, tries to save him, gets electrocuted by a electric fish. I don't know why I couldn't have said electric eel, but
because it's got to be different. It's Krypton.
Yeah. So Amos is trying to fix. All right. Jor-El is out of action.
Okay.
The professor has to fix the baby, so he puts on. The baby starts smiling, so he puts on a helmet, so to see what he's dreaming about,
right?
And that will solve his illness, which makes no sense. But
nope.
Who cares?
But he, having seen all this television stuff up from Earth, he dreams about like fighting Al Capone.
Yeah, and beating the crap out of him and eating and drinking all of his booze.
Yeah,
and tearing up his cars and destroying his Tommy gun. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just great. So it's so the baby survived, and they send Amos back, and Jor-El calls Amos. Oh, the whole deal is, pardon me, is that Jor-El knows that the Krypton is about to blow up, so they want to send everybody in Krypton to
the matter radio.
Yeah.
But the matter radio is broken, and there's not enough time to build ones. So he's able to save Professor Dunn back, but can't save himself. So it's back to using the experimental rocket.
Right. So that's the origin. So Superman takes off his shoe, and you rarely see Superman barefoot.
Right.
But there's a
tiny scar from the thing, yeah, which he couldn't even see without his telescopic vision.
Mm-hmm.
So
and the professor says Paul Pratt was his helper, and he must have invented a way to make the device smaller.
Right.
So then we go back to Paul Pratt, who's dressed like a woman, with this other goober.
Yeah.
Oh, Greer. Greer's a bad guy. He's with Paul. Greer is the ex-helper.
Okay.
Paul Pratt is his companion.
Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
So they're looking over diamonds and going to try to steal it.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul Pratt is dressed like a girl with a veil on. Although I guess people had veils back then. But,
sure.
But usually if someone had died. So.
Well, I don't know. You could be spending that life insurance money on diamonds. We don't know. So.
Right. So Superman moves their matter radio to a desolate.
The receiver to a desolate location.
Right. And everything looks radiated, and the two bad guys think that they are in a world where
atomic war has happened.
Right. And they're going to die. And so they admit what they did. Then Superman with the police are here. And I wonder if they would stand up in court. Wouldn't that be a great trial?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, I guess it would. I mean, all he did was have Superman painted with phosphorus.
Right.
On all the
stuff.
So.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Man, what a great story there. So the professor gives Superman the cool picture, and the professor's destroying the matter radio.
Okay.
And, wow, you had so many things in there.
Right.
You had Krypton. You had a wacky scientist. You had a pretty clever crime. You had Super Baby doing some cool stuff. Sometimes Super Baby's annoying. He was pretty cool here.
Okay.
He was annoying in the right way to the bad guys. Pretty clever way of catching the crooks. I don't know. It was neat. Very well done. Imaginative. Which is, there's not as much clever imagination and stuff. So, all right.
So our next story is called The Rejected Super Tot. It's reprinted from Superboy number 90, written by Jerry Siegel with art by George Papp.
All right. This is, let's see. Is this an imaginary story? Is this?
I don't know. It should usually say at the front. No, it's just an untold tale of Super Baby. So.
All right. Super Baby goes on a cruise with his parents. He gets lost. He goes down and beats up some sharks and knocks a submarine out. So then he goes back into the orphanage.
Because he got lost at sea.
Right. And of course, there's only one orphanage. It's in Smallville in the country. So.
Right.
So this nice Irish couple, Mike O'Reilly, adopt him. They're going to have a big party. And Super Baby eats all the food. So that makes the O'Reillys angry, so they send them back. So next time, this couple, who is kind of superstitious, they move into a new house on Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
Yeah. And he comes in and he moves their furniture back, and they think this place is haunted, so they give up on him.
Right.
And the orphanage people think he's a sweet kid, but pardon me.
Okay. But yeah. Man, podcast us interrupt us.
All right, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay, so he's a all right. A inventor adopts him, and
apparently the inventor is the inventor of the Rder set.
And that's exactly what it looks like. So Super Baby erects something, and then the guy comes in and says, "Oh my God, he's a brainy midget. He's not a baby." Right. So they get rid of him. So then circus people come and get him, and so he's the Super Baby's hanging out with the animals, and he beats the crap out of them because they're mean to him. So now they're scared of him, so they gotta take him back. So
then he finally gets readopted by the Kents.
Yeah, because it uses a super voice. Ma! So,
right.
And they hear him. Oh, it's pretty cool. Not bad. Yeah, it's a simple story.
Right.
Here's an ad for how can one man and one dog panic the world's finest superheroes? We see a comic cover of Superman and Batman running from a dog and a guy, and they're scared.
Yeah, that's weird.
I want to read that.
Yeah, we are going to have, it's going to be a while, probably a few months from now, but we're going to have a very, fairly in-depth look at World's Finest and get a bunch of those great Superman and Batman team-ups, which are great. They're some of my favorite Batman stories. So our next story is called The Babe of Steel, reprinted from Action Comics number 284, written by Robert Bernstein, penciled by Kurt Swan, and inked by George Klein.
And I was surprised this is not about Power Girl.
Right?
Okay. A great splash page of Super Baby holding up a battleship.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Clark is at a phony seance, and he's checking out how fake it is. And so they're going to write, they come to it, and all the reporters know it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
Clark is hanging around, and he sees a real seance thing.
Like a real ghost.
Yes, a white hand is writing a note to him, and you don't read the hand, the note.
The whole note. We only get to see the beginning of it. So, yes, but there's this ghostly hand from beyond gives a message to Superman, and then he's got
to be a Super Baby. So, okay.
Yeah. So he goes and he finds some red kryptonite that he hasn't been exposed to, that he knows turned Supergirl once into a Super Baby. So he knows it'll do the same thing to him.
Turns user into baby, turns user into giant, removes superpowers, and makes user invisible.
These are all these little drawers of red kryptonite that he's got. So he uses this to... It's weird because later in this issue we'll look at that very Supergirl story. But anyway, it turns Superman into a super baby in body.
Mm-hmm. He still has his mind.
Yeah, which is good.
So he sees his crooked carnival, and he goes and he fixes that up. By doing super feats, because you cannot win these carnivals.
Right.
But according to, we were talking about Steve Martin off air, and Steve Martin's the jerk. He's talking about these people are winning all these prizes at the carnival, and he's losing money. He said, no, these prizes are cheap crap. So we want people to pay for them. They pay a lot more for
to try to win them.
Than they're worth. So,
right.
So, although a lot of these things carnivals used to be famous for being crooked like this.
Right.
You cannot win against them. Oh, man. So, Super Baby wins all the prizes, gives all the prizes away, and... Oh, and here we go. Tear gas robbery. Yeah. It's interesting we don't hear about tear gas robbery. It seems like almost foolproof.
Yeah.
Although, okay, you throw a tear gas into a bank, and the tellers can't give you the money. So I guess that's the problem.
That is the problem. Unless you got a guy coming in with you who's can crack safes and open up things. So you got to have an inside guy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the flaw in the bank job. But somebody has to be able to open registers and vaults for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Super Baby tries to stop the the villains, and they hit him with a blackjack, and they bust on his head.
Yeah.
So he takes their heads and bashes them together.
Right.
That's great. Land sakes, I never saw an infant do that before. He's like a tiny Superman. And
because he is.
So he brings the criminals to the
police station.
And they don't believe him. He gets mad.
Yeah.
And destroys their desk.
Right.
So then he hears about his battleship sinking. So he goes and lifts up the battleship. And he gets on and saves it. And he gets on there, and then Sailor says, "Those can't be Superman. He's a super baby." And then Super Baby gets mad again. So they have him shoot a 16-inch naval shell, which is was not the biggest artillery shell, but it's the next biggest artillery shell ever existed. And the thing is massive.
Yeah, but then he blows it up against his chest, and he knows, so, okay, he's a real super baby.
Yeah,
he's really Superman. So
now here's a reverse Krypton situation. This guy thinks that the world's going to end, so he builds a rocket ship, going to put his baby in it and shoot off in space. Superman notices that it's going to blow up, so he gets in there. He takes the kid safely out, and it blows up. The guy feels bad about it. Says, "No, here I am. I saved your kid." So you just worked too hard. So get some rest, and you'll be all right.
Yeah. So
the entire thing is, here's the thing. The Aurora Borealis has caused the Phantom Zone to open up a tiny hole. A hole big enough for Super Baby, but not Superman. So Mon-El, which we met before, wrote a message to Superman at the seance. So they come and block up the hole. The end. Okay.
Yeah, Supergirl and Krypto help him block up the hole because there was a risk of it getting bigger and the Phantom Zone criminals being able to escape.
But why didn't they just do it on the outside? Why do you have to come in? And talk to Mon-El. I don't know.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. So, but that's pretty cool.
Hey, and look at here. We have an advertisement for Captain Action Boy. Meet Dr. Evil.
Yeah, Captain Action was this great, one of the early action figures, even though it's a doll. And the cool thing about Captain Action was he had all these different disguises. You could change his clothes and make him into Superman or Batman or Captain America, or Sergeant Fury, Aquaman, all these different heroes, the Phantom. And that was the beauty of it. And then it became a DC comic drawn by Gil Kane and Wally Wood.
Wow.
Gil Kane pencils, Wally Wood inks. It's gorgeous.
This looks like a Wally Wood villain. Dr. Evil.
Woody definitely didn't draw this, but But yeah, the villain is really wild. He's
Um,
another exposed brain type of villain.
Did Austin Powers have to pay for the name?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, Doctor Evil, really? I mean,
Hey, if I was named Dr. Evil, I'd copyright that.
right. So,
Okay.
so our next story is The Girl Super Baby, reprinted from Action Comics number 260, written by Otto Binder, with art by Jim Mooney.
Okay. This is an okay one. Linda Lee's TV's broken, so she uses superpowers to look at. She's supposed to see world travelogue type stuff for class. So she sees in the islands, and she sees somebody drowning. So she goes to where is this at? I have no idea.
It doesn't matter.
So she saves this guy, and he was an old guy, but now he's a young man. And she comes out, and she gets younger and younger. There's a fountain of youth.
Yeah, and she becomes a super baby.
Yeah.
And then has adventures.
Yeah. She gets into this they always get into a car that mobsters have.
Okay, these guys have the weirdest names. One of them is named Dude, and the other one is like, oh gosh, what is his name? So keep talking and I'll find out.
Oh, okay. Well, it's interesting that there is a warning for this valley that don't go in there. Evil will be the cause downfall of evil, and the warning is written in Kryptonese.
Yeah. So here's something. Yeah, the other guy is Mojax. They're regular guys. The guy's name is Mojax. Doesn't that sound like someone from space?
Yeah, indeed.
So,
and they have all this food and money and all this stuff, and they're just hiding out. And Supergirl is causing all kinds of problems for them. And she makes this. They're shooting off into this. They're shooting all these bullets into a scarecrow, and she makes it into a lead ball and throws it, and it heats up and falls down and melts over kryptonite and saves Superman.
Yeah, which is great.
Mm-hmm. So she steals her clothes and eats their food, and they're thinking it's all
like a ghost.
Mm-hmm. She makes an SOS sound, and the SOS clouds, and here comes the park rangers, and
the police, and they capture these guys because they were on the lam.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then she gets older because it wears off.
Yeah, because the red kryptonite wears off.
That would be kind of cool to go to Fountain Youth and be young for a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Would it bum you out to like get older again though?
Yeah, but you can go back and be young again.
Oh yeah, if you could do it. Yeah, okay. So the next story we have is, it's The Grandson of Steel, reprinted from Superboy number 77, written by Otto Binder, and with art by a fellow named John Cicala, who I have never heard of before.
I wonder if it's a pseudonym for somebody.
It might be, but I didn't. In my research, I didn't find that. Didn't come across that.
Yeah. It's weirdly drawn. It's not. I don't know. It's not the greatest story, but the kids need to go somewhere, and they leave the kid with the grandparents.
Yeah.
And,
super babies, just so you know. It's very
baby.
young Clark. So.
Mm-hmm. And so Grandpa Kent makes marionettes, and he's trying to figure out a show for the hunting club. And Super Baby's going around tearing up trees, and Grandpa thinks he's sleeping and having a dream, so he figures out, I make a good marionette play. So I got one.
Meanwhile, Grandma Kent is having Clark try on all these marionette costumes because he's just the same size.
Mm-hmm.
So he's wandering off and playing in these, and Grandpa Kent is seeing him do stuff and thinks he's dreaming.
He's Robin Hood. He's an Indian chief. He's a clown. He's some kind of Alvin the elf, which I don't know. Wearing a union suit with wings. I guess it works.
Sure.
And let's see. And he keeps doing wacky stuff. And Grandpa still gets ideas. And he gets attacked he dresses like Little Red Riding Hood, and a wolf comes to eat their chickens and attacks him, and the wolf's teeth are broken off, and he runs away.
Right.
And did a pretty successful show, and the kid, Super Baby goes back to sleep. Mom and Pa can come to pick him up, and they don't know anything that happened. So and the Marionette show went well, and the end. So,
Yeah,
not a bad little story.
It's okay, but yeah. This next story we're going to talk about is hilarious.
Indeed.
This is it's Lois Lane's Revenge on Superman. This is reprinted from Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 32, written by Jerry Siegel, and penciled by Kurt Swan and inked by George Klein.
Lick that lollipop, super babykins, and then lick the peppermint stick, or Auntie Lois won't give you the antidote to the youth potion.
So what's going on? We'll find out here in just a minute.
All right, Wondro the Great, the famed mystic, is dying, and so Lois Lane and a bunch of other guys are there, and Wondro asked Lois Lane to come into his death chamber, and because Lois gave him a good review one time.
Right.
So he gives her a wonderful gift, and it's a youth potion.
Yeah.
So Superman comes by, and Lois says, "Look at this," and he shows her all these cool gifts she gets from suitors, and says, "I could have got married these rich guys, but I'm holding off for you, and you're still not marrying me." So,
right.
Which is not Superman. I mean, really, if you can get mad at... It's not like Superman's leading her on.
Right.
You know, he's not pursuing her. And he's never said, "I'm going to marry you, Lois." And, although you think he probably will.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. All's fair in love.
This is a recipe for supervillainy, and I feel like many of Lois's schemes kind of verge on it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So... she accidentally sprays him with youth potion, and he turns into Super Baby. She knows the antidote,
right,
but she won't let him have it. So he's got to do super scoops for her.
Right, and she makes him wear a baby's bonnet, and he's so humiliated
and mad.
Yeah,
but not mad enough apparently. So,
yeah.
They find some missing bank money. And then there's toys. The toy factory payroll stolen. So,
and then she has Superman use toys to stop the robbery. He rides a trike. It's and uses a slingshot.
Yeah, and I see rubber tipped arrows. And then Lois grabs a bat and bashes the guy on the head.
Yeah.
and the police come and say today. So. She has him lick a giant lollipop and peppermint stick until they're all gone, if you want the antidote. So, Super Baby's ticked. So, here comes Jimmy and Perry White, and and they mock him.
Yeah.
Man, I was kind of shocked.
And these are his pals.
Yeah. And Superman's getting madder and madder. Oh, and so he's got these things are about 2 stories tall.
Right. So anyway, he just gets madder and madder, and then he suddenly turns back into an adult with the baby's bonnet on.
Oh man, yeah. But she smashes the antidote, and that sends him over the edge. And the deal was, the only antidote is to get very angry.
And so she knows she had to piss off Superman to get him to turn back into an adult. But boy, did she have a lot of fun messing with him the whole time. It's like, man.
Yeah.
She's so vindictive.
Yeah, but she still wants to marry him.
Yeah. Maybe that's why Superman doesn't want her. It's like, jeez.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. So our next story.
And last one.
And last, yes. Is, wow, we really cruised through this.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The Unwanted Super Baby. Reprinted from Adventure Comics number 299. Written by Jerry Siegel. Art by George Papp.
Okay, imaginary story, people. Okay.
As opposed to all the real ones.
Yeah, exactly. Non-fiction.
Right.
Oh, man.
But I love that how they circumvent continuity by just... adds to the mythology.
Right.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. They're playing some kind of magnetic ball game, which is kind of cool.
On Krypton.
Right.
So... Let's back up a little bit. It's Kal-El is on Krypton. He's a baby playing this game with Jor-El, and Lara is watching. So
there's no reason for them to do this, though, except for them to be on Krypton. I don't know why this introduction here.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Well, because Krypton plays into this story. So they want to have an establishing sequence.
Oh, okay, I guess so. So we get the origin story of Superman again.
Yeah.
It
seems like there's always new shades of things that are happening around the origin of the exodus from Krypton. Well, it's not an exodus, because it's just him, but you know what I mean? Because an exodus is many people. But of the exit from...
Yeah. Oh, this is something. Kal-El speaks English because Jor-El, hoping Kryptonians could escape to Earth, had taught his family Earth languages with instant knowledge hypnotapes. I would like an instant knowledge hypnotape.
Me too.
I'd learn about 100 languages, but...
Because it'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It would.
Yeah.
So, like...
Especially if one was Kryptonese.
Right? If there's a Klingonese, why not a Kryptonese?
Yeah. That'd be something we could do.
What? We'll do the show in Klingon.
Yeah, or Krypton. We could invent a Kryptonese alphabet and language.
I think there might be one.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't know.
All right. So, Super Baby puts out a fire with his breath, and he's flying around. So they call they try to government scientists try to mess with him, and they can't. X-rays only reveal what makes him tick because it can't penetrate his body. So the army is firing cannons, and Superman catches one of the cannonballs. And
is it the Wabash cannonball?
No.
Oh.
Well, it is a literal cannonball, which is
right.
This is not. They didn't shoot cannonballs. Probably they stopped. They started not shooting cannonballs in the 1860s.
Right.
But this is one of my favorite panels. The baby general a general is getting ticked off that he's carrying around cannonballs. So, baby, I'm an army general, and I order you to come down. And of course, Super Baby doesn't.
Right.
Ignores it. So they try to put him in a cage, and of course, he gets out of the cage. He goes back to the orphanage, and nobody wants him. And he tries to find the Kents. He finds the Kents, and he crashes in their house, scares everybody, and Pa Kent is really mad and sends him off. So baby Superman, Super Baby, goes crazy and destroys a bridge, and the army's after him. So Super Baby leaves and goes to this place. There's this guy in a castle. He's been kicked out. His name is King Wolf. He used to be the king of Symbobia. And he's been exiled there.
Yeah.
Because their attempt to seize the throne failed.
Right.
But what is his? He's got a crown on. I guess he wears a crown because he thinks he ought to be the king.
Right.
So Super Baby comes in, beats up his followers. So King Wolf is going to use the baby to get command. So
right.
He teaches him how to destroy planes and tanks. Gives him a uniform with an S on it for Symbobia.
Right. How ironic, because it looks just like the traditional Superman costume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The King Wolf looks like Jor-El with a monocle and a crown.
Right. A Burger King crown.
Yeah.
So he's King Jughead.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
In fact, Superboy's crown that he's given has a chin strap to keep it from falling off.
Yeah.
When he flies.
So he goes to destroy Symbobia, and now King Wolf thinks he's going to destroy the world. So he destroys England's navy, and then he looks and sees that King Wolf is making fun of Superboy for being a sucker. So Superboy takes King Wolf and back to the Symbobia to be arrested, but he gets shot at because they think Superboy wants to rule the world. So Superboy leaves Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to where he goes to? He goes to Zordal, and he becomes a superhero there, the Super Earthling.
Right.
And he does well, but he misses. He thinks about Ma and Pa Kent, even though they kicked him off.
And he never knew them. He just dreamed about those people because they found him.
Yeah, they met him a couple times, and that's about it. So, Superboy hits a golden meteor, and he loses his superpower. So then he becomes
regular old.
Yeah, he sells newspapers.
Yeah, and he works in the Kent store,
and he's weak.
Yeah,
that's kind of sad.
Yeah, so this was an imaginary story, but it's also the first gold kryptonite story.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Gold K is introduced in this story, and it is the thing that will remove, if he's ever exposed to it, it will remove the Kryptonian superpowers permanently. So Gold K is the most dangerous kryptonite of all.
What was the one that killed him, though? What was the one that can kill him?
It's the one that can... Green K.
Green. Is it green?
Yeah, green is the one that kills him. Gold will take away his powers. Okay. Red does weird stuff. And there's like jewel kryptonite.
I love red kryptonite. So.
Oh, yeah. And blue kryptonite, which only hurts Bizarros. There's jewel kryptonite. I can't remember what that does. And there's... Yeah. I'm trying. I think that's all the kryptonites, but
that's probably a lot more.
Oh yeah, but those.
I think there's white. I forgot what that.
There's white kryptonite. I forget what it does though.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, you're right. So anyway, do you anything else, or we just want to wrap it up?
No one wants an ex-Superboy. I just love that line.
Oh.
Yeah, it's sad, but I love these Superboys, and they're really cool.
Yeah.
Man, it's just... it is great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that's it for today.
Okay. Hey, just want to remind everyone that you can join our Facebook discussion group page. You can just search it on Facebook. It's Comic Reflections Podcast Discussion Group, and you can ask Jeff and I questions or discuss current or past episodes. That's our forum for that.
They're not going to answer you, but
yes, we will.
Okay.
So,
what are we doing next week?
Oh, one more thing I was going to say. Comic Reflections is brought to you by RhymesWithGeek.com. Go there for all your nerdy needs. Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah. We're not professional podcasters. We are amateurs, and this
Can you tell?
Yeah.
So,
The Man Called Nova.
Yeah.
I had no idea what this is about.
Oh. You may have to do a little reading on the subject, but yes, we'll have Nova number 15. That is the series from the 70s, not the current one.
Our Love Story.
Yeah, more Marvel romance.
That is one heck of a bikini.
Yes, it is. We've got Power Man, Luke Cage, number 27.
He already has a cool name. You don't need Power Man. You're Luke Cage. How cool a name is that?
I don't know.
The Cisco Kid.
Yeah, from Dell Comics, we've got that.
Hey, Cisco. Okay.
Oh, good, you're familiar.
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. Zor
the Mighty.
Yes, from probably the most obscure thing we'll ever talk about. It's Fantastic Adventures number 12, which is, they're sneaky because it's actually only the third issue.
Oh.
Yeah, but the numbering was weird, and we'll talk about that then. And we've got some Superman number 244.
The Electronic Ghost of Metropolis.
Yes.
I love the way he's drawn on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Must There Be a Superman?
That's right. From Superman number 247.
I think I've read this.
Perhaps you have.
I think it's one of... I don't know. Hopefully it has all of it.
Yeah.
But I think I read that in one of the compilations. Trade compilations. It's mighty awesome.
Yes. All right. That's it. Okay, bye.